Hi, very good evening to all. My name is Bhavana and our subject is foreign trade. This is for BCom first years and first semester only for general students. In the previous class, we discussed a brief introduction about the foreign trade, meaning, definition of the foreign trade, and what is the balance of trade and what are the balance of payments. Today we are discussing which components affects the balance of trade and balance of components. Let's see here. Sorry. Components of balance of trade and balance of payments. Which factors affect the balance of trade? Factors affecting balance of trade. Endowment factor. Endowment is nothing but there is a gift. We feel it as a gift. Endowment factor include land, labor and capital. It includes both land, labor and capital. Labor describes the characteristics of workforce. Based on our characteristics, labor describes its workforce. Land describes the natural resources available such as timber and oil. In this particular area, we are very easily available like timber, oil, then we can say that it is a natural resources. And capital resources include what is the infrastructure and production capacity. Is the particular company or particular country have infrastructure facilities like production of machines, plant and machineries and other equipment and production capacity. These are comes under endowment factors. Endowment factor include land, labor and capital. Labor describes characteristics of workforce. Land describes the natural resources and capital describes the infrastructure and production capacity. Heckscher-Ohlin model of international trade emphasizes the difference in the areas to explain the trade pattern. What is the Heckscher-Ohlin model? He says which country produced the products with at very low cost and quality of goods, and the country has to produce the particular good. For example, in India the labor is very cheap, but when compared to the other countries the labor is very costly. So for that disadvantage you can produce our agriculture products, so we can give at very reasonable prices and compared to the other country. So we have to produce agriculture products. And other country, when we take US, the infrastructure is and capital and infrastructure is very good, so they have to produce like electronic items, then the country will give at very reasonable prices. So Heckscher-Ohlin describes that which country produced the particular product at very reasonable prices, then the other country will take absolute advantage and exchange for these goods in case of exports and imports. This is the Heckscher-Ohlin model of international trade. Next, the other factor is production factors. Productivity of those factors is also important. Example, two countries have same amount of labor and land endowment. Endowment means it's a gift. Land means natural resources. However, one country has a skilled labor force and highly productivity land resources, while the other country has unskilled labor force and relatively low productivity resources. So we have to choose which country have skilled labor and which country have highly available of resources. Then the country produce this product, then the country will enjoy the absolute advantage. Similarly, the efficient use of natural resources can lead to more value extracted from a similar initial endowment. Which country has to produce very good products with a reasonable price, then the country have to produce these products. So then all of the economy world can enjoy absolute advantage, because we can import our goods or we can export our goods from which country have the absolute advantage. I hope you can understand. Productivity of those factors is also important. Example, two countries have same amount of labor and land endowment. When compared to take two countries like India and US have same labor and capital equipments, while the India have the cheapest labor and the US have the capital intensive. So we have to shift our labor to US, then the goods are produced in US. So we can both the countries have taken advantage. Which country use their limited resources with an effective allocation, then the country have increased their GDP. Next, Barriers of trade. Barriers of trade also affects the balance of exports and imports for a given country. Barriers means restrictions for entry of goods from one country to another country. Suppose we are importing one country, but there are some restrictions for importing that country. These barriers also affects the balance of trade. These are all the factors affecting the balance of trade. Policies that restricted imports or subsidize exports, changing the relative price of those goods. For example, we are importing oil, but we are paying the taxes. For this, there are the restrictions or barriers for entry of the goods. For paying taxes, also some restrictions. We have to import such quantity only. Example, agriculture subsidies might reduce the cost of agriculture activities and thus encourage the more productivity for export. In agriculture activities, they have some subsidies, but other goods they do not give any subsidies. We have to pay complete tax. And import quotas raise the relatively price of imported good, which reduces demand for particular imported good. Quotas means restrictions, certain restrictions for this imported good. Import quota rises to relative price of imported good. For this, we have to pay taxes. Then taxes are included in the cost of the particular price. Further, the price increases. So, increasing of price, there is a decreasing in demand. It also affects our balance of trade. Import quota rise the relative price. Import quota means restrictions for entry of goods into our country. For this, we have to pay some taxes. For these taxes, you have to collect from the ultimate customer. For that reason, the price of the good increases. For increasing the price, the demand for the particular good decreases. It also affects our balance of trade. Next, demand. Demand for a particular product or service is an important component of international trade. Demand for a particular product or trade is an important component of international trade. Example, demand for oil affects the price and thus trade balance. We know that demand for oil also affects the price. The petroleum price affects our economy or not? It affects exporting and importing countries. Like, depending on importance of a particular product, oil is very important to every country. For a country, shift the demand. While increasing the price, demand curve will goes down. While decreasing the price, the demand curve will goes up. It will shift the demand due to changes in prices. It shows that impact of overall balance of trade. For example, there is a very less price, we can import more quantities. If there is high price, we can import less quantities. It also affects the balance of trade. So these are all the effects of balance of trade. What are the effects of the balance of trade? Endowment factors, that is land, labor and capital. Which country have efficient resources, natural resources? For this country have to produce goods at a very reasonable price, and they enjoy the absolute advantage. Next, production factors. Production factors also affects the balance of trade. For comparing two countries, from one country have efficient capital and one country have efficient labor, so we have to transfer our labor into that capital country. We have to produce the product, then we have to exchange our goods. This is the best way for enjoying the absolute advantage. And barriers of trade. Barriers means restrictions for any entry of goods into one country to another country. There are restrictions by government. For that, we have to pay tax. That tax is charged to ultimate consumer. For that tax, the product of the cost may increase. For this increase of cost, the demand for the product may decrease. So barriers to trade also affects the balance of trade. And next, demand. Demand of the particular product plays a very vital role in international trade. If the demand increases, the economy value also increases. The demand increases, the price increases, so the economy value is also decreases. Depending upon the importance of a particular product for a country, shift of demand, it shows impact of overall demand, of overall balance of trade. The particular product demand can changes the overall balance of trade. If only one product we are importing, that is oil, if there is any change in prices of the oil, our complete balance of trade may affects. So we can say these are all the factors affecting balance of trade. And next, components of balance of payment. What are the components of balance of payment? Balance of payment contains four important components: current account, capital account, errors and omissions, and official reserve account. Let's see here. What is the current account? The current account balance of payments includes all transactions arising from trade in currently produced goods and services. What it include? Currently at present produced goods and services from income accruing to capital by one country and invested in another country. We are invested in another country, and from any unilateral transfer. There is any unilateral transfer means one side transfer of money from one currency to another currency, both private and official. The current account is usually divided into subdivisions. The current account balance of payments includes all transactions. Current account includes all transactions arising from the trade in currently produced goods and services. At present we are producing some goods and services, and we are investing into another country, and we are converting one currency to another currency. These are all comes under current account. The current account balance of payments includes all transactions arising from trade in currently produced goods and services from income acquiring to capital and from one country and invested in another form of unilateral transfers, both private and official. The current account is usually subdivided into three categories, that is called visible account and invisible account, accounts of other flows. There are three types: visible account, invisible account, and account of other flows. What is visible? Visible account is also known as merchandise account or trade in goods account. We can say merchandise means transfer of goods from one place to another. We can say merchandise. And trade in goods account, the account records imports and exports of physical goods. Visible means we can see and touch. Only these types of goods are recorded in visible account. This balance of visible exports and imports is called visible trade. We can say visible exports and visible imports we call visible trade. Visible account is also known as merchandise. It is known as merchandise account. Trade in goods account. This account records imports and exports of physical goods. This balance of visible exports and visible imports, we can these type of exports and imports, we can say visible exports and visible imports. We can say these are known as visible trade. Or balance of merchandise items. You can say visible trade or balance of merchandise items. In visible account, we record only tangible goods which are you can see and touch. Invisible account records all exports and imports of services. It records only goods. It records services. Is called balance of invisible items. As these items is not recorded in the customs office. These invisible items is not recorded in the customs office also. We can them as invisible item. We can say them as invisible items. You can say they are invisible items. It includes, what are the invisible items? It includes freight. Freight means transportation cost. Insurance, while you are taking any insurance for the damage of the goods. And banking charges, we have to pay charges to the banking for their services, loans, equaling loans and deposits. And foreign tours, we have to develop our product, we go for the foreign tour. These are and come under invisible items. Dividends on foreign investment, there is any dividends on foreign investment, these are all come under the investment account. Invisible account records all the exports and imports. What records? It records all exports and imports of services. The balance of these transactions is called balance of invisible items. As these items is not recorded, invisible items is not recorded in the customs office, we can say them are invisible items. It includes freight, insurance, banking. We can say freight charges, insurance, banking charges, foreign tours, dividends on foreign investment, etc. Next, account of other flows. Unrequited transfer include means we are unable to receive any money. Grants, gifts, pensions, there is only one flow, there is no other flow. We can say other flows. These are all items against which no quid pro quo. Ante we do not get same thing in same return. Which quid pro quo something in return, but no means there is no something for return. is demand, which no quid pro quo, something in same written, but which no for same thing in same written. We didn't return. Why, for example, I gifted a car to my brother or somebody. They didn't give any return to me, so we can say they are account of other flows. These are all come under the current account. Please wait for 1 minute. I will show the pro forma, then it may better understand for you. It's a pro forma of please wait for 1 minute. I definitely show the pro forma of current account. Yes, let's see. This is a pro forma. Then we can a very good idea while seeing this pro forma. It is an current account. It credits and debits. In credits, we are taking exports. Export sale of goods. While we are selling the goods, we have right in a credit side. Invisible exports of the sale of goods. We already learned what is invisible means services for the sale of, and transport services, insurance services, foreign tour expenditure, other services, income received on loans, investments abroad. These are come under credit side. Means and debits. Let's see, imports, purchase, we have to purchase of goods, invisible imports, transport services purchased from abroad, we are paying, these are receiving and these are paying. Insurance services purchases from abroad, foreign tourist expenditure from abroad, other services purchases from abroad, income paid on loans and investments in home country by other. These are all come under the current account. I hope you get a clear idea what are the three accounts. In current account, there is an visible account, invisible account, and other flows. Other flows come gifts and other. We are unable to return anything. Visible means we can see and we can touch. Invisible comes under the services. This is the pro forma of the current account. I hope you can understand. I also show the balance of complete balance of payment after the we see capital account. Then we can see what is the complete balance of payment. Then we get a very good idea. Up to now we see only current account. In capital account, what are the factors included? Let's see here. Capital account shows transactions relating to the international movement of ownership. Here in capital account, there is a movement, not only transfer of goods, the movement of their transfer of ownership of financial assets. These are all come under capital asset. In current account, only transfer of goods from one place to another. Here complete ownership of transfer. Capital account is subdivided into two main subdivisions. One is short term and another is long term movement of capital. Capital account is again subdivided into short term and long term movement of capital. A short term capital matures in 1 year or less. Short term means 1 year or less. A long term capital is one more whose maturity period is longer than a year. Maturity period is longer than a year. We can say there is an long term. Long-term capital again divided into two categories. Long-term capital again divided into two categories: direct investment and portfolio investment. Let's see here. Capital account shows transactions relating to the international movement of ownership of financial assets. There is a movement of ownership of financial assets. Capital account is divided into two main subdivisions. One is short-term and long-term. Less than 1 year we can say there is a short-term. More than 1 year we can say there is a long-term. Long-term capital again subdivided into two categories, that is direct investment and portfolio investment. What is a direct investment and portfolio investment? Direct investment refers to the expenditure on fixed capital formation. Direct investment is nothing but which expenditure we have incurred for the contribution of fixed capital. That type of expenditure we can say it is a direct investment. Direct investment refers to the expenditure on fixed capital. In the formation of the fixed capital we incurred some expenditure, then we can say it is a direct investment. When portfolio investment refers to the acquisition of financial assets, like we are acquiring some financial assets, shares, then we have to incur some expenditure. This type of expenditure you can say it as portfolio expenditure. Portfolio investment. Portfolio investment refers to the changes in holding of shares and bonds. Such investment include capital exports and imports. While we are transferring our bonds and shares to other country, for that we have incurred some expenditure. We can say that is for portfolio expenditure, and such investment we can say it is a portfolio investment. Portfolio investment refers to the changes in holding of shares. For holding of shares, there is any changes in holding means subscribing our shares, like purchasing our shares and bonds. Such investment include capital exports and imports. In this investment, like we are purchasing shares, we have incurred some expenditure. While we are selling the shares, we have incurred such expenditure. And for that investment, we are purchasing, while purchasing shares, we invest some money, so we can say it is a portfolio investment. While we have contributing for capital, then we can say it is a direct investment. Purchasing of shares is a portfolio, and direct contributing to the capital is known as direct investment. These are the capital account. In capital account, we can say there is a direct investment and portfolio investment, short term and long term. Before 1 year, we can say there is a short term, and after 1 year, we can say there is a long term. And direct means while starting a business, we have to contribute our capital. For contributing of capital, we invested some amount. We can say there is a direct investment. Portfolio investment, at the time of we purchasing or holding a shares or bonds, then we can say it is a portfolio investment. I want to show the pro forma of capital account. It's definitely benefit us. Then we can get a very clear idea. 1 minute. This is a capital account table. It's a credits and debits. Let's see what is a credit. Foreign long-term investment in home country. While we are long-term investment in home country, we are investing. It's on credit side. And direct investments in home country, we are direct investing. Foreign investing in our domestic securities. Other investment of foreigners in the home. Foreign government loans to home. Complete, we are giving money to our home country. Foreign short-term investments in the home country. Unilateral transfers account. And debit side, long-term investment abroad, direct investment. These are debits are all we are contributing to abroad, and we are contributing to the home country. Investment in foreign securities, other investments of abroad, government loans to foreign country. We are completely given money to foreign country. Short-term investments abroad. This is the capital account overview, and this is the current account. I hope you understand. In credits, complete to our home country. In debits, complete to our host country, that is from abroad. This is the overview of the capital account. At the end, I will show what is the balance, complete the pro forma of the balance of payment. It may give a clear view. And next, there is in balance of payments, there is a current account, visible items, invisible items, and other flow. And next, capital account consists of short term and long term. In this, there is a direct investment and portfolio investment. And third there is a statistical discrepancy. Errors is nothing but statistical discrepancy is nothing but errors and omissions.